Hi everyone, welcome to another YDFLive show. My name is Stephen Aitchison, creator of YourDigitalFormula.com, a program to help you grow your audience, share your message and transform your business. Okay, so the importance of webinars, why we're talking about webinars today. First of all, there's a link above this video. If you can see in the comments, it's a goo.gl link. If you click on that, you'll see what we're going to be talking about today. So if you click on that link just now, and you don't need to register, it's just to click on the link just to show you kind of what webinars is all about and what you can do with webinars as well. So click on that link and let me know when you've clicked on it and you've kind of seen the page, etc. And that'll give you kind of an idea of what we're talking about today as well and why it's so important to do kind of webinars as well. And you don't need to call them webinars. We called it a live training. A lot of people call it webinars, live training, live cast. So there's a lot of different names for it, but really it's a kind of same thing. A webinar is the same as a live cast or live training or whatever. So let me know when you've clicked on that link and you've seen the page. This is a webinar that myself and Maria Flynn are going to be doing. It's pre-training, a live kind of training session that we've got coming up on the 1st of February. But I want you to kind of see the page just so you can get it. So you can see it and see what it's all about. Darling Dawn, I cannot get it to work on my computer at all, frozen and no sound going to change between browsers again. Oh, that's a bit not so good. So I would imagine it's just kind of refreshing your kind of browser or the page. So click Command and R or Control and R if you're on a PC. But once you've clicked it, kind of let me know. Fiona Cheney is saying neither me. Ah, that's strange. All fine here on Chrome. Yeah, I'm using Chrome as well, so it should work on Chrome okay, but I don't know, it should work on all browsers, to be honest. So Kathy Baker is saying it okay, which is good. Lorraine Emmett, yep, all good. So I take it it's just a browser, I don't know what type of browser. So that's just giving you a reference point of what we're going to be doing. Maria Flynn says, I can see it works on Chrome okay. So Maria will need to test that on different kind of browsers as well. I never thought of that, to be honest, because I thought it would just work on all browsers. It should work on all browsers. Wendy Maya McNutt, Fiona Cheney saying I use Chrome as well. So something funky kind of going on, but it's just to give you a reference point anyway. You don't need to see it, it was to give you a reference point for it. So if you can see the page, that's the training that myself and Maria Flynn are going to be doing. And what we're doing here is we're building up kind of momentum to get everybody to register for this kind of live training that we've got in 7 days' time. So it's going to be good, and that's one of the benefits of getting together a webinar as well. Now, what you can do with a webinar, you can draw a crowd beforehand. So you can get a page like that set up with the link that I've showed you. You can set that page up and you can advertise to it, or you can put it on your Facebook page without advertising. You can put it on your Facebook profile and your Twitter, on Instagram as well. You can link to that on Instagram and even YouTube as well. You can do certain things in YouTube and you can link to it in YouTube and all the other places as well, on your blog, for example, as well. So what you're doing is gathering a crowd before the actual live kind of training or the webinar, for example. So that is one of the benefits of doing webinars. So you give them kind of great information beforehand, you give them exactly what it's going to be about, and what you're doing is you're kind of shouting out the people that it's relevant to. So on that page, I'll just link to it just now. I'll show you just now actually. So we'll do a screen capture. I'm just going to show you exactly screen capture, and we'll do okay. So I'll see if I can link over to the page. So hopefully you can see that page okay just now. I'll just check to make sure you can see it okay. Hopefully it's the page that you're seeing. Yes, it is, so I can see you see that. So what we're doing is we're telling everybody, okay, this is what this kind of live training is going to be about. And we've said, okay, who's this for? So if you're a coach, online entrepreneur, author, speaker, product owner, or provide a service online, then this training is definitely for you. Or if you're thinking about starting an online business. So we're calling out immediately who the live training is for. Because the worst thing you want to do on a webinar is not tell kind of who it's for. If people can't really say, okay, this is for me, this is definitely the training for me, then you're going to get a lot of wasted kind of subscribers and maybe wasted opportunities as well. So make sure you call out the kind of people that the training is actually for, and that's what we've done hopefully with this page as well. So we've said it's about turning your passion into profit. We've kind of mentioned also is about for online kind of entrepreneurs or coaches online, because they can advertise online, obviously, authors online, speakers online, service providers online as well. So you're drawing a crowd of the right people. That's really, really important. You need to get the right audience to your kind of webinar as well. And that's what you can do with these webinars, is draw the right crowd as well. So I'll just get back to me again. So it's just to show you that page for anybody that couldn't see it in the link. So that's one of the big benefits. You're drawing the right audience. Now, the second benefit of kind of webinars is interactivity. When you're doing a webinar, you're going on live on the webinar or the live training, and they can see a replay as well, but in the replay the people will get to see you interacting live with your audience. So it's great from that point of view because your audience get a feel for who you are. So when you do a kind of live training session, like the one we're going to be doing next week, when you do something like that, people get to see your energy, they get to see your enthusiasm, they get to kind of know how knowledgeable you are. And with webinars as well, everybody thinks, oh, I couldn't do a webinar because I'm not that knowledgeable on a topic. You have to remember that you only need to be one step ahead of the people that are watching the webinar for them to see you as a very knowledgeable person on that topic. Now, obviously, you're probably going to be 2 steps ahead or 3 steps ahead of wherever you are, and you can do a live training or a webinar on any topic that you're kind of passionate about. So if you've got a passion, if you've got a passion for yoga, if you've got a passion for knitting, if you've got a passion for online business, you can kind of give training for that. And that's the beauty of it as well. But the interactivity part is you've got a box where people are kind of talking on the kind of right hand side of the computer, so people can type in and ask you questions to clarify things and just to ask you questions direct as well. So for example, this webinar we've got next week, we'll give a training session first of all for about half an hour, 40 minutes, and then after it's going to be a live Q&A. So people will get to ask myself and Maria questions about online business, starting up an online business and how you turn your passion into profits as well. And that's what it's all about. And it's all about that interactivity as well, because people get to see you as a real person and they see you're authentic, they see you're genuine as well, and you're really knowledgeable about your topic. So it's just basically, it's like doing this live just now. So hopefully, I'm guessing that you keep coming back for a reason. There must be a reason you keep coming back to watch these live shows. Because if I was a bit of a dick and I was kind of selling all the time, you wouldn't come back. But because you see me as, and I don't know how you see me, and I'm not asking for compliments or anything, I'm just saying there must be a reason that you're coming back. Hopefully, it's either one of the three. It's because of the knowledge that I'm giving you and making you think about things about your online business if you're thinking about starting it, or you're thinking about growing it even further, taking it to the next level as well. So this is kind of for all kind of levels of people on their online business, from people thinking about starting, from people just starting, from people going to the next level they've already started. So hopefully is for that as well. So hopefully you're going to get the knowledge from me, or you're going to see that I'm a genuine kind of person and I'm really passionate about my kind of online business and passing that knowledge on to you as well. Hopefully you come back for that, or you just see me as kind of being authentic and you just kind of like the way I present, for example. I don't know, there must be a reason that you come back. And it's exactly the same when people go on to webinars. So they'll probably see the first 5-10 minutes of you, and then they'll decide, just like meeting somebody, kind of a stranger, brand new, when you get to talk to them, you kind of, as human nature, we just judge them straight away. We put them into little boxes, and the boxes will be genuine, knowledgeable, authentic, passionate, enthusiastic. We'll put them into those boxes straight away. So a lot of people will kind of turn off because your energy is just not right for them, or your knowledge is not right, or your kind of passion is not right. Something will kind of switch off, but most people will stay, because if you've done the front part right and called out the people that you really want to have to come to the webinar, then you've done your job properly as well. Okay, I can't see the comments just now. Sticking again. Jacob Likeness, I can see the page and entered my name and mail to see to the site. Brilliant. So hopefully you got to the next page after that, Jacob, and you've seen it. Maria Flynn, webinars are excellent for connecting with your audience on a more digital, personal level. And that's what it's all about. So webinars can give you something that a sales page can't do. For example, when somebody goes to a sales page, they're not getting the measure of you as a person. They're not getting a measure of your enthusiasm, your passion, your kind of knowledge. They're not getting all that on a simple sales page. On a webinar, that's what comes across. Maria Flynn, no matter where you are in your business, I think webinars are a perfect way to reach your audience. Either way, a video is being recorded and you have a teaching video you can use again. And that's another point I was going to come on to. So that's a brilliant point, Maria, as well, because what you can do with a webinar, you can then use that webinar because it's training that you've done. Say you've got an hour and a half training or an hour's training worth there. You can then use that as a replay and still get people to sign up for the replay, thereby kind of not exploding your kind of email list, but you're growing your email list, and you can use it again and again and again and again. You don't have to do a live training every single week, but I would advise to do live training every week. If you're going to do webinars for your business, do a live training every week, so you get your kind of webinar spot on. You get it just perfect, because there's going to be things that are not good about the first one. You'll tweak, do the second one. There'll be things that are not so good about the second one, tweak it, and you do the third one, and you keep on going, and then you can do what is called an ever webinar, or an evergreen kind of webinar, where you just kind of get people to sign up and they can watch the replay over and over because you've done the live trainings and you've got a perfect kind of webinar almost. So once you can't get a perfect webinar, but as good as it's going to get for you, for your business, you can just get people to sign up for it over and over and over again. But you've got to do the lives. Really important to do the live trainings, because you get used to it, you get a feel for it, and you get kind of feedback from the training as well. Number 3, it gives you personal authority. Well, it gives you authority. When anybody sees you on screen in kind of any format, it gives you a certain amount of authority about your kind of niche, whatever niche you're in. So, and again, this is psychological. When people see somebody kind of on video, they automatically think, well, maybe not so much nowadays, but they kind of did in the past, and to a certain degree, they still do. They automatically kind of assume you're very knowledgeable on your topic, or you wouldn't go live doing a live webinar or live training, or live on YouTube, or live on Facebook. So they automatically assume you know about your topic, you're knowledgeable, and it gives you a certain amount of authority. Again, it's all psychological, but the sales process, business, a lot of it is psychological. Well, most of it is psychological. So if you think about it from that point of view, it's going to be great for your business as well. Just to let you know, I'll be collecting questions as well. If you've got any questions after this kind of show, we'll just I'll answer any questions at the end. Number 4, showing, not telling. This is really important as well. When you can show somebody about a kind of product, a service, or you can show your knowledge, or you can show your passion about something, and you can show people how your service or your product is working for other people. When you show it instead of just telling people, that's so much more powerful than just telling people about it. So a sales page tells you. That's all it does. It doesn't really show you unless it's got videos in the sales page, or unless you're giving kind of a lot more information than is normal on a normal bog standard sales page. With a webinar, you can show all the time. You've got great content, you've got kind of great images in there, and you've hopefully structured it well as well. So it's all about showing and not telling, and you can use the subtle marketing techniques I've spoke about loads of times as well with webinars. So subtle marketing is going to be really good as well. As I said, what we discussed earlier, you can use this for future value. So although your webinar, you think, okay, that's a one-time, that was a live training, one time, you can't really use it again, but you can. You can use that. You could do a series of webinars in and of itself. So if you've done a series of kind of 6 or weekly webinars for 6 weeks, you could actually sell that package for say $249 or $199 or $197, or 499 or something like that, if you are really knowledgeable on a topic. Like I seen one last night from Robin, I can't remember her name, Dean Graziosi, and they were doing a webinar on kind of health, kickstarting your health in 2017, and really kicking it up a gear. And it was all about Robin, who'd lost 70 pounds in weight and stuff like that. And it was a good webinar. I didn't watch it all, if I'm being honest, but I'd seen at the beginning, and it was really good, very kind of professionally done as well. And she was selling at the end of it $197 program. But if you wanted to do just a series of webinars as well, you could sell that series of webinars. So you don't have to go get people to a webinar and then sell them at the end of the webinar. What you can do is just sell the webinar itself. If you're really knowledgeable. And again, it could be any topic that you can imagine, any topic that you're kind of passionate about. And I would imagine everybody watching this live show has some kind of topic that they're actually passionate about, or they're kind of doing for free just now. They might be writing about it on the blog, they might be doing Facebook, you might have a Facebook page or whatever, and you might be kind of just sharing information on that particular topic as well. So I'm just going to see, yeah, we've got a couple of questions just now, but I'll get back to them in a wee second. I think that was it. Was it 5 I was thinking of? Yeah, it was 5 kind of points I wanted to make about webinars and why they are so good. So that is the 5 points about kind of webinars. Now, obviously, what you need to start a webinar, there's a few things that you obviously need. You need, first of all, a kind of a webinar host. And that could be the likes of, you could use YouTube Live and use it on a kind of WordPress page as well and do YouTube Live there. If you're a bit more technical, you can do that. And it's relatively easy to do. Myself and Maria Flynn, we're going to be doing, it's going to be side by side, so we're going to be on the video at the same time. That's a wee bit more technical and a wee bit more kind of challenging because the software is not brilliant at the moment for doing that. But that's going to be changing over the next couple of months. So we'll be using Wirecast and Skype, and it's just going to be good from that point of view. But that's going to become easier in the future. If you're just doing a webinar on your own, it's going to be so much easier. So you can do it on a web page, or you can do it on a dedicated kind of host like Webinar Jam. So Webinar Jam is the one that we're using, and I would recommend that. As kind of fairly simple to use once you get your head around it. And there's a steep learning curve, but it's really easy to use. Other ones are like GoToWebinar. You can use live stream as well, which you can embed on a page, a website page as well. So there's lots of different ones out there, and I'll link to them kind of down below after this as well. Obviously, you'll need an autoresponder service as well to collect email addresses, but with Webinar Jam, they'll collect all the email addresses for you as well, and they'll automatically send out emails. So as soon as somebody signs up, they'll get an email saying, thanks for signing up. It's going to be brilliant. Starts next week. And then we'll send out automated kind of emails saying 24 hours before it, an hour before it, and then when it's actually live as well. So we make sure we're getting people over to the live training as well. What else would you need? Kind of landing pages as well. You could use WordPress for this. I use ClickFunnels, which I just find really, really good. It's brilliant for designing kind of pages. So I use ClickFunnels and Kajabi for that as well. But that might be a wee bit pricey for you at this stage. So you could use your WordPress blog or a kind of a WordPress page or something like that. So you can definitely do that. There's ways to do things. And if you're on a budget, just kind of type into Google, what can you do to kind of get a website up and running or a web page up and running. There's lots of kind of easy ways to do it. And that's kind of all you need to kind of start a webinar. Your webinar host is going to be the biggest thing, your webinar provider. And there's cheaper alternatives out there like Webinar Ninja as well. I think that's a one-off. I can't remember how much it is. But Webinar Jam, I would definitely recommend. It's getting better all the time. And I still like to use that just now. That's the one we've been using. But I know a lot of people swear by GoToWebinar as well. I've used that and I just kind of like Webinar Jam better. And because they're doing so many innovative things as well, I think we'll stick with Webinar Jam just now. But I'd like to do kind of lives from actually direct on the website using YouTube Live as well. Right, so we'll go to some questions here. Question from Maria Flynn: would you do the same topic each week on the webinar? What I would do, Maria, and that's a really good question, what I would do is do the same topic, obviously try and get different people in order to perfect that particular topic or that webinar topic. So once you've kind of almost perfected it or got it as good as you're going to get, and the conversions are good, for example, and you know everybody's loving the information, then you set it and kind of forget to do another webinar after that, and then you can go into a different training, do the same with that until you've got 4 or 5 great trainings, and then you can start sending people to all the different webinars that you've got. Or you can just do one, try and perfect it, or you could do the one every single week as well. So it really depends on what your goals are, but I would suggest kind of having different topics as well. I know when we've done them, when I've done them in the past, Maria, it's been on the same topic. The last couple of webinars we've done, it's been on the same topic, but we've changed it up as well. It's good to change things up because things are always changing. Like I talk about Facebook on the webinars that I do as well, and things are always changing with Facebook. So it's good to kind of change it up as well. Shabana Aslam, what is a webinar? A webinar is just kind of a live training. It could be a video where people sign up to get live training or a replay of live training. So that's all. That's simply what it is. That's all a webinar is. So you're given training and it's going to be live via the computer, or they can watch on a mobile phone. Somebody signs up for the training and they can get the training delivered via a replay, or they can do it at a set time for the live training. So for example, next week we've got a live training at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So nobody will be able to see anything until 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Wednesday. And the live training will just automatically start. So I hope that helps, Shabana. Robin Rajmunga, can you remind me where the link for the monthly trainings, please? Yeah, I'll get that link put in for you. If Maria, Maria might have done that already, I don't know. So Maria will put that link up for you, or I'll do it at the end of this show as well. So I hope that helps, Robin. Tiffany Reid, once I enter a credit card, is it a code that is sent to my email so I can get a seat in the training session on the live Facebook webinar? Right, what webinar are we talking about? We're talking about the webinar that I'll give you the link for, Tiffany, because you don't actually pay for that. So you won't pay for that live training. If you want to do the monthly training, you might be talking about the monthly training, and that just goes straight to PayPal. That's $29 a month, and it will just, it's a subscription, so it'll just be automatic, and we'll send out emails for you exactly where to go to get the live training as well, and it'll be once a month for that. I think that's what you might be talking about, Tiffany. But we'll get you sorted out as well. If you've got any questions, just write to myself or Maria. Question from Margaret Sebastian, how can webinar help me in a teaching profession? Depends on what you're teaching. So it depends on the topic that you are teaching. So I'd really need to know what we're talking about here, Margaret. So if you kind of write back to me, just put a message in there and tell me what you want to be teaching about. Question from Hazel Johnston, do you think this would be good for committee meetings? Webinars, I would use something like, for the likes of committee meetings, I would use something like GoToWebinar, something like that. If there's only going to be a few people, you could use Webinar Jam for committee meetings as well. You get people on, but there's only one kind of main speaker. With GoToWebinar, you can pass the mic, so to speak, on to different people. And I don't know if you can do that in Webinar Jam, actually. We've never actually done that. I don't think you can. You can actually. So Webinar Jam or GoToMeeting. GoToMeeting might be a better one for you for committee meetings. So I hope that helps, Hazel. Mira Desi, is it worth taking old audio recordings from past programs and redoing them as live, showing my face, webinars, or can I just add slides and use that for a webinar? A lot of people use slides. I use slides in my webinar, but I always go on live at the very beginning and I go on live at the very end as well. But I still do the training live just using slides. So you can definitely do that. It's a good way to do it. But I would kind of go on live. It's good to interact with people live instead of trying to, because a lot of people try and fool you that is actually live, but it's not really, it's just a recorded session. I'd rather do it live than do that, or tell the people, like, listen, this is a replay. JF Boyle, I'm planning on doing training webinars. Would we do the same things plus more info? The Scottish Seer Joan Francis Boyle. What's the question there? I'm planning on doing training webinars. Would we do the same? Yes, it would be exactly the same if you want to do training webinars. So the whole idea of kind of webinars is to give some great information first of all. So you give some great information on the topic that you ultimately want to kind of sell, either your product or your service or whatever it is. So you give great information, free information, your best information on the webinar. Then at the end of it for 10-15 minutes, you can sell your service or product. Because if people have gone to know, like and trust you, then the sales pitch is not really a sales pitch. It's just you telling them about your service or your product. So it doesn't turn into a sales pitch, although you are selling at the end, and they can then decide if they know, like and trust you enough to buy your product, or if it's within their kind of investment range as well. So yeah, you can definitely do that, Joan Francis. So I hope that helps. Maria Flynn, I definitely prefer live. I think it is better live, to be honest. We've thought about doing kind of replays is fine. Replays, as long as you're telling people it's replays. But doing a live and it's just a video, I wouldn't kind of do it that way. Again, we've tried that in the past as well. I just don't like it. I think it's much better live. Let's see if there's any more questions here. Right, we're sticking again, one wee sec. Right, how long have we been on? I think that's it for now, actually. Maria is saying, no matter where you are in your business. Oh, right, that's an old kind of comment. So I think that's it for today. If you've got any more questions, get a quick question in just now about webinars. Mira Desi, what if you don't have any product for upsell? What if you don't have any product? Then I would suggest kind of making a product. Even an ebook, not giving away an ebook, but selling an ebook on your webinar as well. Or you can just do webinars for training to get people together to grow your tribe. You could be good for that as well. But I would always have kind of a product as well at the end of it. Even if it's an ebook, you could put together an ebook in a day, to be honest. I've seen myself write an ebook in 5 or 6 hours. So try and get something together and sell that at the kind of end of the webinar as well. Because webinars, they do cost you money, obviously. For the software itself, it's costing you your time as well. If you're on the webinar for an hour and a half, and all the preparation work beforehand and after it as well, because you've got emails to send out beforehand and afterwards as well. So it is going to be a bit of time. It's going to be an investment in your time as well. So that's why I would always say have something to sell at the end of it. And it's not hard sell, just subtle marketing. That's all you need to use. You just say at the end of it, kind of 10-15 minutes, you say, okay, I've got this product. Here's the benefits for the product. Here's what you're going to get if you buy this product. Here's a link to buy the product. Obviously, 10-15 minutes, you kind of talk about it as well, but that's really what it's about. Maria, what about paid webinars? Those are another option too. Yeah, definitely. That's what I was talking about earlier. So if you've got a series of webinars that you can do, you can charge for those webinars as well. So even if you've got one-off training. So if you've got a really a kind of high-end topic that you want to talk about, okay, say for example, doing Facebook ads. A lot of people are really confused about Facebook ads. So you could offer a webinar, say $97 training webinar for 2 hours, and offer that and just get money for the webinar itself. So you could do it that way. So that's what Maria's talking about with Mira there. So that's a good way to do it as well. Mira, will there be a session in pricing if ebooks are trainings? I struggle with knowing what are good price points. There's no good price points. An ebook is only worth as much as somebody's willing to pay for it. So then you test the different price points, Mira. So you can test it $7, $17, $27, $37, $49, $97. So it depends on the kind of topic of the ebook, and then it's a matter of testing it. So you just test. So have one sales page or one webinar and test your kind of ebook sales at the end of it, for example. So I hope that helps. Regina, just make a feasibility study about the business before you go on. Yeah, you have to do a feasibility study. What Regina's talking about there is just going on and looking at your market. You have to see if you've got competitors out there. You have to see different pricing. You don't need to pay attention to the pricing. You can set your own pricing, and you don't necessarily have to do what everybody else is doing, but that's a good way to do it as well. So yeah, do a feasibility study as well, and you could even email your list as part of your feasibility study as well. Mira, thank you so much. I appreciate you and all you do for us. Thank you very much, Mira. I really appreciate your questions. And thank you everybody else for your questions. And if you want to go on the live training with myself and Maria Flynn, just click the link above and you'll see what the live training kind of is all about. You'll see what a webinar is all about as well. And obviously we're going to be doing monthly live training as well, and that's what we will be kind of showing you there. So it's going to be a monthly live training, and there's going to be Q&As after that live training as well. So that's next Wednesday, the 1st of February at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. GMT time. So it'll be good to see you there, and I'll be promoting this webinar as well along with Maria Flynn as well, because we want everybody to get this training. I think it's going to be great for even people that are just thinking about it, people that already started, people that are just getting into it, and people of a higher level. They've already got a following, they've already got product, they just want to do it a wee bit better and take it to the next step. So it's for all levels as well. Joan Francis Boyle saying thank you. Thank you for watching. Okay, so I've been on for quite a while now, I think. I just get really excited about these topics and I just don't realise the time. But I've got another show after this. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope that's given you kind of some insights into kind of webinars and how powerful they can be for your business as well. Until tomorrow, whatever you're doing, have a brilliant day and namaste. Take care. Bye now.